it's Alyssa. Today we're going to read The Princess and the Warrior by Duncan Tonatia. Once upon a time there lived a kind and beautiful princess named Ista. Even though she was the daughter of an emperor, she loved to spend time with the people who grew corn in the milpas. She liked to teach them poetry, or floricanto. Suitors traveled from distant lands to woo her. They presented her with rare and lavish gifts such as kissed tall feathers and turquoise necklaces. They would all say the same thing: "You are the most beautiful maiden in the land. Marry me, princess, and you will live in my luxurious palace. You won't have to spend time in the fields ever again." "No, thank you," Ista replied. She is not interested in any of the suitors or their gifts. One day, a warrior named Popoka came to see her. "Princess, I know you have a kind and beautiful heart, for I have seen you teaching floricanto to the villagers in the milpas. I don't have expensive gifts to offer, but if you marry me, I promise that I will love you for who you are, and I will stay by your side no matter what, as long as Tonatio rises and the sizzolante bird sings." Popoka's words were music to Ista's ears. She could hear the honesty in his voice, and she fell in love with him. The emperor did not want his daughter to marry a mere soldier. He wanted her to marry a wealthy and powerful Tlautoani, a ruler. But he knew that Popoka was the best and bravest warrior in his kingdom. The emperor and his people had been at war with Jaguar Claw, the Tlautoni of a neighboring land, for years, and there seemed to be no end in sight. He called Popoka to him. "Popoka," the emperor said, "if you defeat Jaguar Claw once and for all, I will let you marry my daughter Ista." Popoka and Ista were overjoyed. Popoka gathered his most courageous men and marched to war. Popoka fought numerous battles. He and his men were injured and almost defeated many times. But when the end seemed near, Popoka would always think of Ista, waiting for his return. He would defend himself with his chimai, attack with his makuachitil, and inspire his men to fight with even more courage than before. Slowly, the tide turned, and Popoka and his men began winning battles. It was clear that they would soon defeat Jaguar Claw. Realizing this, Jaguar Claw devised a plan to steal from Popoka what the warrior cherished most. He bribed one of Popoka's personal messengers. "Tell Ista Popoka has been killed and offer her this potion, Oktli, to soothe her grief." "Everything is lost, princess," the messenger said sadly when he arrived at the palace. Popoka and his men fought bravely, but they were defeated and killed. "No, that cannot be," cried Ista. She locked herself in her chamber and wept, and refused to eat or speak with anyone. That night, the messenger came to her room. "I know your heart is shattered, as if it were made of obsidian glass," he said. "But take this drink, princess. It will help you ease your grief." Ista took the potion and drank it all. Lying down on her petlatal, she fell into a deep sleep. The next day, before night fell, and the first Sitai appeared in the sky, Popoka defeated Jaguar Claw. Unaware of the lies the messenger had told, the great warrior and his troops marched back to the palace in triumph, ready to share their good news with the princess and the emperor. But when they arrived, they were met with disbelief. Popoka, said the emperor, one of your messengers told us you were dead. Ista was heartbroken. She took a special octili to ease her pain, and now we cannot wake her. This can't be true, said Popoka. Ista, my beautiful princess, has to awaken. He ran to her chamber. He kissed her and held her in his arms. He called her name over and over, but Ista did not wake up. Cool air will surely revive her, Popoka told the emperor. He carried Ista through the throng of villagers who wept as they passed the milpas, and all through the night to the top of a tepetal. He laid her on a xochitl bed. He knelt down beside her. The cool mountain air soon turned into snow, but still the princess did not wake up. Popoka refused to move. He stayed next to Ista, just as he had promised when he first met her. As long as Tonatia rises, as long as the senzolte bird sings. In time, where once there was a princess with her true love by her side, two volcanoes emerged. One is known as Iztaccíhuatl, or Sleeping Woman. The other is known as Popocatépetl, or Smoky Mountain. Iztaccíhuatl continues to sleep, but Popocatépetl spews ashes and smoke from time to time as if attempting to wake his sleeping princess. The end.